Ah, Boomerang. You seem uninjured despite your supposedly harrowing battles.
Ever since Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was announced, it has been an uphill battle in its journey to find success. Developed by Rocksteady Studios and published by Warner Bros. Games, the title had previously been rumored to exist, then to have been cancelled, and then was ultimately announced in 2020. Due to the developer's experience with the Batman Arkham franchise, fans were hoping for another title featuring the Dark Knight or even a rumored Superman title. However, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is what we have now, and as such, will be looked at through that lens. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is set in the same universe as the Batman Arkham franchise and takes place 5 years after the events of Batman Arkham Knight. Argus director Amanda Weller assembles Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad, comprised of the Arkham Asylum residents/inmates Captain Boomerang, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and King Shark. The squad is sent to Metropolis to stop Brainiac and the brainwashed Justice League members. As alluded to the title, the Suicide Squad then sets out to kill the members of the Justice League. As straightforward as it is, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League features a cast that simply jives together within the story. Each character has a unique role within the group, both in and out of combat. While they may fall into archetypes and tropes, the cast is genuinely enjoyable and features a good amount of comedic moments. Where the rest of the narrative goes, however, is in a bit of a different direction. Having experienced the Batman Arkham franchise before, the general direction doesn't go anywhere that I would have liked to see overall. I think it would have been best served to be separated from the established universe, as consistent reminders of what could have been with the prior games only work against this experience. That said, the narrative, in a vacuum, does enough to move the game forward. The story does have its highs and lows, and some unexpected portions surprised me during my playthrough. At its core, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a cooperative live service shooter with an emphasis on its open world mission structure. Players are subjected to missions in between major story beats, with most of them feeling similar in that it involves going to a location, killing enemies, and perhaps having an objective to destroy an object or two. While this does get repetitive, it works a lot better in cooperative live service than the action-adventure one. Players are able to play as any of the 4 Suicide Squad members. Each of their characters has 2 weapon classes, unique melee combat styles, traversal methods, and skill trees. Personally, I enjoyed playing as King Shark the most, with Deadshot taking a close second. That said, I still enjoyed Captain Boomerang and Harley Quinn for their characterizations, with Captain Boomerang having a fun to use, though at times ineffective traversal method of throwing his boomerang with a Speed Force gauntlet. Character progression occurs in the form of skill trees/talents and continuous weapon improvements. While it is always a good time to see numbers go up and find weapons and skills that synergize well, the completion of even small quests results in a pretty hard break in the gameplay that shows progression, loot, and more. While these may be appreciated in other contexts, it breaks up enough that I'd rather be able to skip them to go right into more combat. Overall, the gameplay of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was fun in the midst of combat, but it's marred by a somewhat janky traversal and a fragmented flow of missions. Sure, not being great with traversal is pretty much a skill issue, but each character having their own traversal systems and controls makes it harder to get used to, especially when you're trying to use them all equally. Lastly, the AI of your teammates is usually great within combat, but I was starting to get annoyed by how often King Shark decides to walk in front of me while I'm lining up a sniper shot. Visually though, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is impressive for the character models in the city of Metropolis. While Metropolis appears to be a bit generic at the start, locations such as the Hall of Justice and Daily Planet stand out bright. The voice acting and general audio is also well done, with the characters working extremely well off one another. As a live service title, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will depend on consistent post-launch content to keep players coming back for more. With additional content already announced at the time of this review, I am personally curious to see how well it will continue to grow both in content as well as the gaming community. As it stands now, the more time I spend playing, the more I feel that spending time with a singular character will lead to greater enjoyment, and the post-launch content should keep me coming back at least once in a while. Although I played through most of my review by myself, the game should be enjoyable with friends as more of a casual experience. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a decent title. Despite moments of jank or a broken flow from the mission to mission, it allows players to explore a DC universe through a different lens. The various references, both the comics and the game's universe, were all an additional point of enjoyment. While the combat was enjoyable at its core, there were still a certain je ne sais quoi that was missing from it all. But don't get that mixed up with any external factors. The various aspects of Kill the Justice League on its own are relatively well done, but the overall package does depend on individual players as well as post-launch support. Noisy Pixel is giving Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League a 6.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by our supporters on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.